Hello and welcome to Week in Review on Trust Television. I am Martia Umar. In case you missed some of our news update during the week, this is an opportunity for you to catch up. But we'll start with a very unpleasant story where death toll from Zamfara Attacks rises to 23 as bandits attack yet another community in the state on Friday night. And several people are displaced as community members said they are still waiting for government intervention. Let's take a look.
Another bloody day in northwest Nigeria as bandits killed 23 in a fresh attack in Zamfara of Safi local government area of Zamfara State. Thousands fled their homes and hundreds displaced as they failed to redeem the levies slammed on them by terrorist group.
We're still confirming people that are missing. They burned our houses and my house was also affected. With harvested food in the house. We don't know the number of houses affected so far. They taxed us money, we paid for peace, but they still attacked.
The fight against this terrorist group remains weak according to residents, as everyday attack of these communities continue and fears with the heart of many.
I was not able to carry anything from my house when they attacked. We had no option than to flee our homes for safety. Currently, these bandits are in our homes requesting we give them money, and we don't have the money to give to them now.
Many left homeless, thousands still missing, and hundreds still fleeing their homes for safety. From Zamfara State, Iran Asahel, Trust.
With this start with a not so pleasant story and also about 30 gunmen during the week, late hours of Sunday attacked the Okene area command of the Nigerian Police Force in Kogi State. And the State Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Fanwo, who confirmed the attack, said that the police shot dead one of the gunmen while others escaped with injuries during the attack. According to the statement, the local hunters and men of the State Vigilante Service, in collaboration with other security operatives, fought the attack. Fanwo said no lives were lost. Instead, the criminals were the ones that received gun wounds and lost one of their members on the spot, and called on traditional medical homes and other medical facilities to report anyone with gun wounds to the nearest security formation. In another development, 104 fighters of the Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP and their family members have surrendered to the 25 Task Force Brigade of the Nigerian Army in Damboa, Borno State. Reports say among those who surrendered were children and women. According to the report, deadly assaults on the terrorists by the military have forced family members of the fighters out of their hidings. And we go again where we look at the killer of Halifa. The story of Halifa made a lot of headlines. And during the week, the killer of Halifa, Abubakar Abdulmalik Tanko, and his accomplices were arraigned before a Kano State High Court. And the court adjourned the hearing into the killing of the 5-year-old Halifa Abubakar to February 14th in order to allow suspects have legal representation. Presiding Judge Justice Usman Naaba ruled that the case cannot continue without legal representation from the accused. Meanwhile, the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Lawan Musa said a legal aid will be provided to Abdulmalik Tanko and his co-accused standing trial over the kidnap and killing of the 5-year-old school pupil.
Already prepared a charge against Abdulmalik and the other 2 defendants. Today, we're supposed to apply for the charge to be read to them, but unfortunately, they did not have legal representation. This is a very serious offense, capital offense, which, of course, the Constitution says that you cannot try a person without legal representation. You heard the court ask them, and they said they have no legal representation and that they wanted the state to provide one for them. We are only getting the information now, so but we have undertaken to the court that we are going to provide one for them, and we ask for next Monday, that is 14th of February, by 2 p.m. So before then, the state will ensure that they have legal representation, and so that the case can go on smoothly. But I'd like to assure you that as far as the Ministry of Justice is concerned, we are fully ready for this case. We are ready to present our witnesses immediately once the charge is read to their understanding and their plea taken.
The World Hijab Day is still marked across the country, but this one took place in Edo State, where Muslim women there are still marking the World Hijab Day with a call for respect to the right of women to wear hijab. Nafisa Bello reports that 3 women organizations in the state collaborated to speak with one voice on the Muslim woman's head covering, which has continued to generate controversies. The report.
The annual event, which was put together by the Edo State chapter of the Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Nigeria, FOMWA, in collaboration with Al-Muminat, the Believing Women, and the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, MSS, had in attendance women from all walks of life, as well as female students drawn from various schools. In her address, the Edo State FOMWA Amira Hajarabi Abiri appealed to relevant stakeholders on the issues bordering on the Muslim woman's covering, and other women leaders, which include the chairperson at the event, Scarcity Obaze, advised women on the importance of the hijab.
Permit me to use this medium to appeal to all stakeholders to help tackle this problem faced by the Muslim man within Nigeria and indeed the world over. Muslim parents are hereby advised to find good schools that recognize and teach Islamic values, like our very own former group of schools, to enroll their children at once.
Ultimately, our governor is not fearing. Our Lord to preach religious tolerance, equality and justice. Want to further promote peaceful coexistence, love, mutual understanding and togetherness.
It's not just for us to put up this. It should reflect in our character. We are modest. As Muslim women and girls, we should demonstrate a lot of modesty in our behavior.
One of the resource persons, a legal practitioner, Barrister Alamin Alao, outlined the legal status of the hijab in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the students were not left out as they spoke on what they gained from the public lecture which held at the Central Mosque, Benin City, Edo State.
From the legal point of view, you have the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that is the ground law, in the sense that that law is supreme. Any other law that is inconsistent with the provision of the Constitution, that particular law will be null and void to the essence of its inconsistency.
For men putting on the hijab gives you a prestige already. People have placed you somewhere before. It's not left for you to work on yourself to look higher.
A lot of things, like wearing of the hijab at all times, whether you go out or you're in. I also learned that we should be wearing any hijab, like transparent hijab or shorts, head covers or what have you. We should wear the full hijab.
I learned a lot of things about the importance of hijab, how we should be wearing our hijab, not wearing scarf or head cover.
The theme of the 2022 World Hijab Day is Hijab is our crown, not a crime. Nafisa Bello, Trust TV News, Benin.
And now to Electoral Matters. During the week, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, debunked claims of releasing the schedule of activities for the 2023 general elections. The Chief Press Secretary to the Chairman of the Commission, Rotimi Oyekomi, dismissed the post as fake news while responding to Trust TV via text. Oyekomi confirmed that the circular has been making rounds online since December 2021 but was not authorized by the Commission. He added that the Commission is yet to release the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2023 general elections and hence enjoined the public to disregard the post. And in Zamfara State, police there rescued 5 kidnapped victims in the forest of Safet local government area in Zamfara State. And the police spokesperson, SP Muhammad Shehu, who stated this at a briefing in Gusau, said 4 of the victims hail from Zuru local government area of Kebbi State but were abducted along Yankara Safi Road, while the bandits abducted the other victim in Kwatongwara local government area of Niger State. SP Shehu said all the victims were rescued unconditionally during an extensive search and rescue operations conducted in the forest and have undergone medical treatment and debriefed by the police. The commander further called on public to continue to support the security operators in the ongoing operation against the bandits and other criminal elements in the state. And you're still watching Week in Review. More will come your way after the break.
Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most people who fall sick with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatment. However, some will become seriously ill and require medical attention. The virus can spread from an infected person's mouth or nose in small liquid particles when they cough, sneeze, speak, sing, or breathe. These particles range from larger respiratory droplets to smaller aerosols. You can be infected by breathing in the virus if you're near someone who has COVID-19 or by touching a contaminated surface and then touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. The virus spreads more easily indoors and in crowded settings. Maintain a safe distance from others at least 2 meters even if they don't appear to be sick. Wear a mask in public, especially indoors or when physical distancing is not possible. Clean your hands often. Use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Cover your nose and mouth with your bent elbow or a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Stay home if you feel unwell. Get vaccinated. Properly fitted masks can help prevent the spread of the virus from the person wearing the mask to others. Masks alone do not protect against COVID-19 and should be combined with physical distancing and hand hygiene. Protect yourself and others around you by knowing the facts and taking appropriate precautions. Follow advice provided by your local health authority. This message is brought to you by Trust TV.
Thank you for staying with us. This is still Week in Review on Trust Television. And moving on to more reviews, it is not news that in the past 1 week, there have been queues across major filling stations in the Federal Capital Territory, and vehicle owners in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, are bemoaning shortages of fuel as long queues resurfaced in parts of the city, causing commercial motorists to hike fare. This development gives black market sellers opportunity to sell at exorbitant prices, leaving some commuters stranded or forced to trek to their respective destinations. Trust TV's Aisha Sadio monitored the situation and reports that amid other possible causes, adulteration of fuel is responsible for the scarcity, according to preliminary investigation.
The situation in many fueling stations in the Federal Capital Territory at the moment is indeed appalling, as so many vehicle owners have to wait at long queues in these stations to access the premium motor spirit. And of course, we have those of the passengers who are waiting to access vehicles where there is price hike in the cost of transportation. And of course, some persons are stranded, they are unable to get access to vehicles.
While the cause of the fuel scarcity is unknown to stranded commuters and vehicle owners, they continue to condemn the situation, calling on relevant authorities to find a lasting solution.
Apart from the traffic thing, I've been to several filling stations. I don't know what's happening. Nobody's talking to anyone. The queue is everywhere. This is like the 8th filling station I've been to this morning. So it's more or less like the whole of my day is gone on queue. So I don't know what is happening. The government should do something about this. And I think we are entitled to information. If there is anything happening, let us know. Let's be prepared ahead. Black markets everywhere. Today, this morning, a black market was telling me for 10 liters, 3,500. And then I look at it, if I'm to fill my tank with 50 liters, how much would that be? So if increase in fuel price rate is what they want to talk about, they should let us know. If the subsidy thing, we should know.
This is usually where I come to get fuel in the mornings, in the evenings, but for the last 1 week or so, it's been like this. About 2-3 days ago, I was actually stuck inside from around 7, and I left here around maybe 11 at night.
The shortage of fuel at fueling stations has become an avenue for the black market sellers to hike fuel prices, leaving a negative effect on cost of transportation.
It's not funny. We are not finding it easy. Just like other people who are going to work out there are not finding it easy to get vehicle to their destination. By the time you want to buy fuel, it will take you a very long time, maybe like 2, 3 to 4 hours before you get fuel. Then by the time you want to go out to go and do your business, continue your business, nobody will like to pay extra money. And that time that we waste, and even when you want to buy full tank for filling station, they will be telling you there's no full tank, that they have to give you half a tank. So, and it's affecting us. When you buy today, tomorrow again, you will still go back there to go and queue because they are not giving us full tank. So that is why we increase our own price for customer them.
From Mujabi here to Gbagba, 800 naira. Una waiting time people they collect for our hand. To them to buy fuel now, see in a filling station everywhere they locked. You understand?
Although preliminary investigation reveals that the cause of scarcity in some parts of the country is as a result of adulterated fuel in circulation. According to the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, the directive to withdraw the product from the market after distribution to many fueling stations across the country created a supply shortfall, thereby leading to panic buying.
The fear of fuel subsidy withdrawal in the minds of both private depot owners and some retailers, a policy that has been postponed by the government, perhaps is the cause of shortages of this product at these fueling stations. This has rendered so many commuters stranded as so many people are unable to get to their places of work and businesses just in time.
The Independent Petroleum Marketers noted that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company is working to ensure disruption to the supply chain is addressed as soon as possible. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, has confirmed petrol with methanol quantities above Nigeria's specification in the supply chain. NMDPRA stated this in a statement issued on Tuesday, confirming concerns by Nigerians and other stakeholders over the importation of crude above Nigeria's grade to the market. According to the statement, methanol is a regular additive in petrol and is usually blended in an acceptable quantity, noting that the limited quantity of the impacted product had been isolated and withdrawn from the market, including the loaded trucks in transit to assure vehicular and equipment safety. The statement noted that the development caused long queues across Lagos, Abuja and other parts of the country as many filling stations shut down services, while some Nigerians expressed concerns over viral video online with complaints of how adulterated petrol supplied to some station damaged motorists, cabs and motorcycle engines. Meanwhile, NNPC has intensified efforts at increasing the supply of petrol in the market to bridge any unforeseen supply gap. And during the course of the week, there was a disagreement that transpired between Caslier in Kaduna State and a driver plus his conductor. And it got so heated that it led to the death of the conductor. So meanwhile, the driver of the truck, that official of the Kaduna State Traffic Law Enforcement Agency, Caslier, allegedly killed the conductor, calls on the authorities to do the needful and to do justice to the soul of the deceased 20-year-old colleague Masaudu Adamu. The tipper driver, Abubakar Muhammad, said this while speaking with journalists in Kaduna. Let's take a look at the report. The driver and the deceased conductor came from Bauchi State to deliver goods they were hired to bring to Kaduna. However, on Ali Akilu Road Traffic Lights Junction, officials of Castlier had some misunderstanding and the driver and his conductor got more than they bargained for. The driver sustained injuries while the conductor, Masaudu Adamu, was later confirmed dead by doctors.
We came to Kaduna on Friday to deliver goods I bought for one company. On reaching to Angwan Sariki Traffic Lights Junction, trying to do a U-turn, and we were given the green light to pass. Before I turned to the other lane, one of the Catsley officials started throwing sticks on us and destroyed my reverse light. After we parked, they surrounded us and started beating us with sticks, and we were unarmed. This led to the death of my conductor.
Police Public Relations Officer of Kaduna State Command, ASP Mohammed Jalige, while confirming the incident, said arrest has been made and investigations are ongoing.
The men of Castelia, the tipper driver and his conductor, had issues which resulted to beatings, and the driver and his conductor sustained varying degrees of injuries and were rushed to the hospital immediately for treatment. On getting to the hospital, one of them, the conductor, was confirmed dead by a medical doctor, while the driver was treated and discharged immediately. Now, the Commissioner of Police, Kaduna State Police Command, CP Mudasuru Abdullahi, has ordered for a full-scale investigation to be carried out into the matter. And investigation is currently ongoing. We have 4 suspects in connection to the incident, the case, in our custody.
Some residents of Kaduna Metropolis also expressed dissatisfaction with the way officials of the Castlier carry out their operations.
The authority, I will take them off the route. They are nuisance. Some of them are not educated. Some of them don't even know the rights of human rights, I will say. They don't know their job. I don't wonder what they were being trained.
There must be a kind or an iota of decorum from them. Many people are not happy because of the way they take it. They take this aspect of revenue collection or generation too hard, too pushing, and perhaps they refuse to take into consideration the level of poverty the citizenry are.
I don't have much idea about Castelia, but as I can see, they are really performing, they're doing their best.
Officials of Castlier, who are supposed not to carry arms, have been accused of causing accident and harassing motorists with sticks. Since the reported incident, the Castlier officials were no longer on the roads as usual to carry out their work. No official is ready to speak on. And to judicial matters, a Chief Magistrate Court in Gusau on Tuesday adjourned the case against Abdul Shakur Tukur and 3 others as they will be paraded in court for further mention. Chief Magistrate Saad Garba adjourned the case to allow the Department of Public Prosecution, DPP, assigned to it a court of competent jurisdiction for trial. And according to him, the magistrate has no jurisdiction over the case, but only to look at the cognizance of case and order for the remand of suspects. Garba therefore ordered the continued remand of the 3 defendants, while the 2 underage suspects be kept in a juvenile facility until the adjourned date. And still talking about judicial matters, appeal court in Abuja will on May 18th hear an appeal seeking immediate swearing-in of Abubakar Atiku as president and nullification of 2019 election that produced Muhammadu Buhari as president. A group incorporated trustees of Civil Society Observatory for Constitutional and Legal Compliance instituted the appeal. Duplication of legal representation on Wednesday's stalled hearing in the appeal challenging educational qualification of President Buhari at last general election. Trustee Shafiu Suleiman reports that the appellate court is compelled to adjourn hearing to allow two contending counsels sort out the issue.
Joining the matter are the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), All Progressives Congress (APC) and President Muhammadu Buhari. The incorporated trustees of the Civil Society Observatory for Constitutional and Legal Compliance approached the appellate court to review judgment passed in favor of the respondents at the lower court.
We are challenging the proper nomination of President Buhari, but on different grounds from those that have already been determined by the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. I think I need to make that clear. These are on different grounds, but it's still a challenge to his qualification.
The issues in this appeal has been decided in the case of Abubakar Atiku against INEC, and my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria stated clearly that President Muhammadu Buhari is eminently qualified. So that's what we filed in our appeal, that we don't even know what we are doing here, because the court, the Supreme Court, both this court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court has stated clearly that President Muhammadu Buhari is eminently qualified. So really what is happening here is really an academic exercise, because the court cannot go back and then reverse what it has decided.
At the resumed hearing of the matter before Justice Amani Haruna, a new counsel Oluwale Afolabi announced appearance for the second and third respondents, APC and President Muhammadu Buhari, as against the usual counsel Amedu Francis, necessitating the need to seek an adjournment to allow for further clarifications.
Different law firms filed processes for the third respondent, that's President Buhari, and all claiming to have been duly briefed by the president to represent them.
We have a letter expressly instructing us to represent the two respondents, the second and the third respondents, and that is what we have done.
We represented the third respondent at the trial court when this appeal was entered at the Court of Appeal. We also represented the third respondent. But my learned friend this morning, we discussed, and he showed me a letter of instruction from the All Progressive Congress. The third respondent is a named party, the second respondent is a named party. They are not the same thing. But however, it's something that can be sorted out amongst ourselves.
The appellate court granted the request to allow the resolution of the dispute and asked the parties to return for hearing on the 18th of May 2022. The applicants are challenging the educational qualifications of the incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari in the appeal, which the APC and INEC are joined as first and second respondents. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And that's so much we can take on Weekend Review. Join us next week for more updates. For more updates on our news and program, follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching.